Hello, team. We're so excited tonight. Our special guest is Sonya Dudley. I know that many of you are familiar with her. She is a Diamond Ambassador with Plexus. I know that she was my go-to at the beginning when I first started. I trained on all her videos, which I'm sure you all have too. I loved her compensation and about the product. So you are the beginning for a whole lot of people because we send a lot of people to your videos. So we appreciate your wisdom and you being on tonight. And Sonya is one of the most genuine, sweet people that I've ever met. And that's why she's a diamond. And she's going to talk to us tonight about mindset, self-talk, changing, and overcoming, which are things that are very important in this industry. So we are going to turn it over to Sonya.
Okie dokie, Rebecca. Thank you for those sweet words. That was so kind of you. And I remember. I think we met for the first time. I believe it was in Hawaii a couple years ago. Was that the first time we'd met, or on the airplane?
I think so. Yes, when I was in first class with you for 10 minutes.
It was fun. It was fun. Yeah, that's how we met. Well, thank you for the sweet words. And it is so great to be on tonight. And thank you for having me and for asking me. I've done network marketing for many years, probably 25 years altogether. I had a gap in between. I did one for 17 years, and then I had a gap in between, Plexus. And so in that gap was when I did a few more. And I can tell you that what I've found is that most people are always looking outward for motivation, for a new idea, for a new challenge, for more training. They're always looking outward. And that's great. We need training, we need convention, we need workshops, we need that stuff. But a lot of times, when you don't address the root of what's holding you back, then you've got this outward motivation, and you leave your event with this new idea, and you're so excited. But then when you try to implement the idea, you still feel this resistance. You still hear this voice saying something to you. Who do you think you are? That would be great for everybody else, but really, that you could ever do that? Like, you hear that voice, and sometimes it's your own voice. It's what you've told yourself for so long, but a lot of times it's another voice. And so until we address the root of the problem, the fears, we're going to continue on that vicious cycle of going outward all the time instead of going inward. And so that's a little bit of what I wanted to address tonight. Let me see, my PowerPoint is almost loaded. But let's just talk about how important mindset is. Let me give you an example. I want you to think about if you were on a ball team, like when you were in school and you were on a ball team and you were a part of a team, and your coach, it was a big game coming up, and maybe this basketball team had big tall players, and they'd won every game, and so your coach is in front of you, and your coach is going, okay guys, here's the deal. They're bigger than us. They're probably going to win. I mean, some of you can't even run very fast, but that's okay. But listen, it's okay if we lose, but let's just do the best we can, and we've always got next year. Okay, I want you to think about, if you're on that team, what that mindset would have done for you. How would you have walked out there on that basketball court feeling about the game? Not too good, I would think. And then I want you to think of it as the same scenario, and the coach saying, hey guys, we're small, but we're mighty. And that team, they may be tall, but you know what? It doesn't matter, because we have the will to win, and we're going to do something nobody's ever done. If anybody can do it, you guys can do it. You got it? Y'all with me? Think about the difference then when that team walks out onto the court. Mindset is everything. And when you wake up in the morning and you stump your toe and you trip over something and you spill your coffee and you're saying, I might as well go back to bed. It's going to be a rotten day. This is how my day starts. I knew it would be this way. Oh, if it were going to happen, it would happen to me. If that's the way you're thinking and talking and saying things out loud, you're programming your mind to believe that. Your mind does not know the difference between true and false. Your mind is like a computer, and when you type things into your computer, does your computer stop you and say, wait, Rebecca, don't type that. That's not true. No, it just takes in whatever you put in, and it saves it. And then every time you need it, you can recall it. And the more you recall it, the quicker you can find it and the quicker it comes to you. So the more you say over and over, this wasn't meant for me. I'm not a salesperson. Who am I to think I could sell? The more you say that, then the quicker that will come about. Your brain is a muscle, so it picks it up really quick. And the stronger you develop the muscle, the quicker it'll pick that up. So in order for you to change your outcome, you've got to change what goes in. You have to. And so many people work so hard on the outside. They're working so hard to just figure out a new idea to, what can I change? What am I doing wrong? How can I get my people to work more? When all they need to do is work on the wording that will change the outcome. It's biblical. I'm reading a great book right now. I just got finished reading What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. I thought I had it laying here, but I don't. But this is the other one I'm reading. I don't know if you can see that from this little screen here. What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. No, this one is Self-Talk, Soul Talk. Yeah, Self-Talk, Soul Talk by Jennifer Rothschild. Amazing book. Can you see that? Yeah. Mm-hmm. That has been incredible, and it's biblically based. Jennifer is blind. This is such a great book. It's so powerful. It's truly life-changing. And so for a lot of you who are searching for a new idea or a new network marketing book, personally, I think you need to shift your focus to working on getting rid of the fear, the limited beliefs, and changing the mindset, which is what this book and the other book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, even Switch on Your Brain, by Dr. Caroline Leaf. I've read half of that book. It's a really hard book for me to stay with. It's a great book, but there's so much science in it that it's like I have to take it in small doses because of my personality. So I have to have easy reads, and I really this is it right here. All right, so I just want to thumb through a couple of things I had written down here on my PowerPoint. I have a couple of slides I want to go through. I was doing a coaching call today, and I had a gal say to me, it feels really awkward. She goes, I think about saying to my team, you would be great. You're amazing. You could do this. She said, but it feels really strange to say that. And, we peeled the onion back and peeled all the layers, and it really boiled down to she didn't feel that about herself. And if your self-image is not really good of yourself, it's going to be hard for you to give that out to other people. And I'm not saying you're being conceited or cocky or a snooty person by saying I'm great in this business. I'm a good, confident salesperson. I'm a great leader. I draw people to me everywhere I go. Like, you need to say those affirmations to yourself because, God made you to be awesome. He did not make you to think of yourself as some, non-deserving person. So just work on your own self-talk, work on building up your own self-image, because it's going to be really hard for you to give out to other people what you don't possess in yourself. So for some of you, you may be sponsoring people on your team, and they're all struggling with belief, they don't think they can do it. Well, it could be because it's reflective of you don't think you can do it. Not always, but a lot of the time it is. So keep that in mind. All right. Let's talk about a little bit about fear. I want you to understand that a lot of people have a fear of failure. And that one is very clear and very easy to kind of wrap your head around. But also people have a fear of success for different reasons. One could be, and I remember for me, I didn't know I had a fear of success. But here's what I want you to think about. If you've never had something and it's unfamiliar, you're going to have a little bit of fear about it. Fear of the unknown, it's normal. You're going to have it. So I remember when I joined Plexus, September of 2012, I hit Emerald in the middle of March of 2013. And I remember I was in the airport, and I remember me and Helen, we both hit Emerald, and we'd got our first checks. We'd hit Emerald the month before. So we were together when we got our first check. So we looked at our phones, we saw the check, and we both were like, we were excited, but then we were like, what if we don't pay enough taxes? And what if it goes away? And what if we don't save enough money? And what if we lose friends over this? Like, we didn't just say them right in a row, but I mean, that was our talk off and on for the next couple months. And so it's because it was unfamiliar. You know, if you're a good moral person and you have a big heart and you love people, you will do the right thing. You will do the right thing. So don't worry that you won't know what to do when the time comes. You will grow into learning what to do, and it's okay. So that's a big fear as well. So, and of course, fear of what people think of you, and fear of pushing people away and losing friends, and fear of what your parents might think if they maybe didn't approve of this business. And so there's a lot. This is deep. This is stuff I teach for 6 hours on a Saturday. I can't cover it in 20 minutes, but I'm trying to do the best I can to give you an overview. So basically what you have to do is you have to identify your fear. That's number one. You have to identify the fear. You've got to dig deep into yourself and figure out, what is it? What's your fear? And write it down. You've got to write it down, and you've got to figure out where it came from. And then you've got to replace that fear with an opposite statement. So, and this does not go with just fears. This goes with weaknesses. So if you have a fear of talking in front of people, you might have an affirmation that would say, it feels so good to be able to stand up in front of people and talk. Actually, I love to do it. I look forward to doing it. People enjoy me talking, enjoy my presentation. People ask me all the time to talk in front of their group. It feels so good to do a great presentation. And so you've got to do some affirmations like that. But it also can be from things that are your weaknesses, such as, you don't like to exercise. So one of your affirmations could be, I absolutely love to exercise. I can't wait to get up in the mornings and get on the treadmill. I absolutely love to sweat. I love the results from exercising. I look great in a bathing suit. Like, you can just go on and on. But what I do is I have an app on my phone called Repeat It Again. It's on the iPhone, and it's a free app called Repeat It Again. And I play those affirmations over and over and over. What am I doing? I'm reprogramming my computer. Until you get rid of the old computer and the old software and the old hard drive, all of that, and replace it with new, you will continue to battle your own self. So you must work on it. It's not easy to do. Let me rephrase that. It's easy to do it, to put it all into action, write it down. It takes you 21 days minimum to create a habit of reprogramming. So, are most people self-disciplined enough to do it? Probably not. But the ones who have done it, I've seen people that were stuck at silver for 2 years and now they're emerald. I've seen people that have been stuck, could not get over their talking in public, and now they're doing events. I've seen everything. It's just been crazy. So that's how you get rid of your fears. So we talked a little bit about mindset, self-image. We talked a little bit about overcoming your fears, doing a little bit of positive self-talk. Let me reiterate this. And this saying directly came from the book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. Number 1, there's 5 points. And the title, you can just title it, if you want to, programming. I don't know. But programming. Number 1 is programming creates your beliefs. So programming creates your beliefs. Your beliefs create your attitudes. Your attitudes create your feelings. Your feelings determine your action. And your action creates your results. And that's exactly how it works. And so you're in charge of the programming. And if what you've been doing has not been working, and if it's not serving you well, you are the only person in charge of changing that. So, I want to say this because I think this is something that's really huge. But, when we're young, and we're really, really young, most of us think we can do anything. We have these dreams, we have these hopes, and we think we can conquer the world, and we think we can be an astronaut, and we think we can fly. We think all these things. And then what happens is we have people that try to bring us back to reality. And instead of doing it in a very kind way, sometimes they just say, seriously, you could never be president. Are you kidding? Girls aren't presidents. Get that out of your head, girl. And so people start not on purpose stealing your dreams, but mostly just trying to protect you, doing the best that they know how to do. But what that does is that we start buying into those beliefs. So even some are much worse than that. As, some of you may have been told you're ugly, you're fat, you're dumb, you could never be anything, you'll never amount to anything. Some of you may have heard that. You're clumsy, you're not as smart as your sister. And so with that said, you take on all that garbage, and then you're carrying this garbage bag around, and it's heavy and it's hurtful. And people think, so then when I introduce affirmations and all this stuff, they say, well, it doesn't sound like me though. When I say I'm a very confident and bold person, they're like, that's not the truth. And I'm like, well, how about thinking about it this way? What if it is the truth? What if the way you were before the garbage came about was your truth? And all that garbage you were given all those years was someone else's limited beliefs that they loaned you. And it's time for you to give those back. And, it's just something to think about. That's a mouthful. So think about that. Ponder on that a little bit. Okay, I've just got,
Yeah, that's kind of like carrying around somebody else's baggage.
It is. It is carrying someone else's baggage. You've got your own garbage bag, and then you've got 4 or 5 more hanging off. And it gets really heavy to the point that your self-doubt just takes over, and you pretty much settle, and your self-doubt takes over. So you got to figure out your why. I'll just kind of end with this, and then Rebecca, if there's any Q&A for 5 or 7 minutes when I'm finished, that's fine. But you've got to, I don't know where I was. I wanted to say, what was I closing with? Oh yeah, you've got to know your why, not your goal, but your why. Like if I say, what's your why? And you say, I want to be an emerald this year. That's not your why. That is your goal. Why do you want to be emerald? What would that do for your family? What would that bring different to your life? So that's your why. And you have to remember your why, because if you don't, on the bad days, it's easy to give up. So always keep your why in front of you, and don't be afraid to dream about it. Think about it. You've got to visualize, even biblically, it's all through the Bible, about visualizing your dreams, seeing it. The people perish without vision. I mean, you have to visualize how it's going to smell, how it's going to feel, how it's going to taste, how it's going to sound, all of that in Hawaii. If you want to be there, You can't just talk about it. You got to see yourself there. See, it's one thing to say you're going to be there, but can you really see yourself there? So I want you guys to I really want you to work on the self-talk, because Helen and I did a study on it, a book study, and we know it's the key to unlock what most people are bound by. We know it. We've seen too much fruit from it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have any questions? I'll open it up, Rebecca, to Q&A.
Okay. What the app you talked about is called Repeat It Again.
It is.
And so you say that you like something you record and it repeats it back to you?
Yep. And let's see. Hang on. I thought I might have it on the iPad too, but because I could show you, but it's on the phone that I'm having to use. Yeah. Okay. So it's called Repeat It Again.
Okay.
And it has 9 buttons on it. And each button will record up to 2 minutes. And so like for button number 1, I have affirmations about exercise. For button number 2, I might have affirmations about eating healthy. For number 3, it might be about building my personal business or my team, or being a good mom, just different things that I struggle with, balance. And so what you do is you can record up to 2 minutes. Most of mine are about 1 minute, maybe even just 45 seconds, but you can repeat them up to 20 times. So like when I'm on the treadmill in the morning, I can hit number 1 and I can set it for 8 times. And it will say the same affirmation 8 times. And then I can just go down and hit number 2 and it'll play it 8 times.
Okay. And
it helps to reprogram the mind. The year that I did this in my sleep, I plugged this is back in the day, but I slept with headphones on to a Walkman, and it played an endless loop tape, and it would play it all night long, and it put my goals and affirmations in there all night. And that was the best year I ever had in my business, like double everything. Double personal business, won the highest level car I could win. My unit did amazing. So it really works. It really works.
Okay.
Really.
Well, I'm going to get it, and all 9, I'm going to put I love exercise, all 9 buttons.
Yeah, I hear you, sister. I hear you. What I know is I love the results from exercise. And I also love to do it once it's a habit. It's when I stop doing it that I regress. And so, that's what I'm working on. And the affirmations help. I walked the hill this morning. I walked that vicious hill. And, I love the results. And that's what I have to remember. So that's one of my affirmations. So, okay, someone's asking something. So,
yeah, so those are the 2 books. What to say. So you can see that? You can see the group chat?
I can see the group chat. So this is good. Yeah, the first book. Yeah. Y'all got it. Yep.
Okay. Does anybody else have a question? I mean, you can unmute yourself if you want to ask. I know that Sonya has another Zoom right after ours, so we have her for a couple more minutes.
And you know what? Thank you. I love you guys too. I really do, Jennifer. And I will say that Helen and I did a study. We did a 7-week live Zoom on what to say when you talk to yourself. And that 7-week study is on my YouTube channel. And you guys could do a study as a group together if you wanted. But let me tell you, we had people in that group that have broken free, and I'm talking about from bondage of things that we didn't even need to know about. But they felt very open and secure to talk about it in that group. It's a very powerful thing to do. Yeah, I'm glad y'all are reading this. Some of you are already reading these.
Yeah, I'm reading the first one, the what to say when you talk to yourself, but I'm going to get the other one because I like that it comes from the Christian aspect.
It does.
Yeah.
And for people who struggle with that, Rebecca, what to say when you talk to yourself. I mean, I'm like, listen, get this one then, get this one next, and it will back everything you just read, I promise, because it is biblical. I mean, there's so many scriptures to back it. It's crazy. So, yeah, people need to get over that because it's biblical.
Okay, anybody else?
Y'all are easy.
I know, everybody's quiet tonight.
Yeah.
Well, we will let you go because I know that you have to get on another call, but we so appreciate your time. We appreciate everything that you've done for all the Plexus ambassadors. You just have no idea how far-reaching you have touched people. I watched your video on compensation plan, I bet 100 times before I gave my first presentation.
Wow, Rebecca, wow. That's humbling. It really is. And I started the videos only because Helen and I were growing at such a rapid pace. There were days we couldn't even get a shower, and we were like, oh my gosh, we got people asking the same questions. What if I do a video and put it on that channel called YouTube? I wonder if that would work. And then I could just send everyone to that. And I didn't do my first video till I was Sapphire, which was shortly after Emerald. But I mean, it was how we just did time management. So I'd never dreamed what it would turn into, but it's been so humbling, and I'm so grateful that it's helped so many people. And I mean that.
Well,
Totally mean that.
We're grateful for you and for your time. Thank you so much for being our special guest tonight. And we're going to let Sonya go, but I do want our team to go ahead and stay on. Okay?
Thank you again. Thank you. Thank all of you so much. See you in Vegas really soon.
Vegas. So exciting.
All right. So now, do I need to disconnect myself, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Leave. Okay. Bye.
Bye.